Welcome back to the Boonies Gear channel, and today what I wanted to do was install some RotopaX containers on the Snowmobile. So these are the 2-gallon RotopaX Gen 2 tanks, and tell you what we're going to need. We're going to need our RotopaX mount for the tanks to go on the Snowmobile. So currently I'm using Mountain Addiction tanks. They use these slide rails to slide on and off. The tanks themselves are pretty good. They hold about 3 gallons of gas. The Mountain Addiction can has some pros and cons. Some of the pros, I like the size of it. I like the volume. The 3 gallons seems to work pretty well. On my sled I've got it set up for 2. So I can put 2 tanks, or I can run a bag, which is something else that Mountain Addiction does, which I like. The dislikes I have is I have been riding and I've been able to hit this with my foot when I'm on the seat and actually have it fall off. Or I've hit a bump or something and actually had it pop off before. And the reason, as best I can tell, that happens is, let's see, let's pull it off. The reason that is because the bottom here, the tank, if you leave gas in the Mountain Addiction tanks for very long periods of time, or when it gets hot or over the summer or something, they can pressurize and they will warp this bottom part. And if that happens, they don't fit very well on the Snowmobile, and it's hard to get them on and off. So that is a disadvantage to the Mountain Addiction gas cans that I've noticed. I've also had friends that have had them crack down here before too. I've never had one crack. They seem to work fine, other than they can be difficult to get them on and off the rails, especially if you don't have your rails on right. Set that guy down. The reason I'm going with RotopaX this time, just to try something new. I do like how the RotopaX is a lot more lower profile. This is a 2-gallon can. They do have a 3-gallon can available, and I've got one of those. Maybe I'll go grab it and show you. Okay, so here's the 3-gallon can from RotopaX. It is a little bit bigger. It actually doesn't fit too bad. I was thinking it might hang over a little bit. So that's a 3-gallon. Here's a 2-gallon. So you can see that the 2-gallon is not quite as wide as a 3-gallon on the sled, but they both utilize the RotopaX mount here. So I think I'll be able to switch between whatever tanks I want. I can get a mount, or I do have a mount to stack the 2 gallons and take 4 gallons of fuel if I want. First off, you'll need the RotopaX mount plate here. We need to take this and we need to mount it to that. And next we'll look at taking these rails off so we can put our mount on. So let's get the mount on here, see how that looks. Alright, okay, so well, got a kind of a problem here. They provided holes, it looks like, to mount this plate to, but the holes don't line up with anything. If I mount the top, line up with the top hole here, you can see that it doesn't work here. Spin it maybe, but same problem, line up, so I can't use that. Okay, that was a little bit more of an ordeal than I thought, but essentially what I did is I drilled out 4 new holes here and put the carriage bolts down underneath. So you can see that to get that to mount. Now we can move on to removing these rails, pulling this off, and see what we can do about mounting that. Okay, so I'm thinking, I don't know, thinking about there. Obviously going with the RotopaX, you get a slimmer profile, but it takes up more tunnel space. So if you're running a bag or something else, it might not work, but I leave it there. That gives me some room here, And truthfully, I'd rather have the weight of the fuel a little bit further this way than on the back. So I think maybe we'll go right about there. Well, again, they gave us carriage bolts. We got square bolts going into round holes. All right, there we have it. The mount is installed. So let's take a look. Let's see. Set that guy down on that. Now again, this is the deluxe mount, so we'll spin that. Get that guy down there. Just like that. A little tighter. There she be. So that's the 2 gallon. Guess let's see what we think of the 3 gallon. Figure out which one we want to use. Okay. Let's see what we think of the 3 gallon sitting on there. I don't know. It's not too bad having 3 gallons. So that's 3 gallons. And that's 3 gallons. So I don't know. What do you prefer? It's a little bit slimmer profile, but you know, we'll just have to ride and see. Alright, so that'll tighten up there. Make it a little bit tighter so it locks in just like that. Look at that. Okay, and then let's stick our second one on. Okay, so there's the 2 gallons, so that's 4 gallons of fuel. And again, profile wise, so now we got 4 gallons at the same profile as what the Mountain Addiction can was pretty much. I think from here on out, what I'm going to do is take the sled out this weekend, ride it with the tanks on there, get some footage, and see what I like. Maybe I'll mess around with the 2 different setups. And I don't know. Right now, I think I'm leaning towards just the 1 3-gallon tank. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I'll catch you up on the mountain. Thanks. Okay, I've had a chance to use the RotopaX fuel tank over the last couple rides, and there's some things I definitely like about it, like I talked about earlier. I like the low profile, and you know what, riding in the mountains I didn't worry about it falling off. However, I did run across one issue when we were up snowmobiling this last weekend. Temperatures got below -12, and we came out in the morning, went to the fuel station with the fuel of the tank, and I could not get this to break free. It had frozen shut. That's the first time I've had it freeze on me since I've been using the RotopaX setup. I guess if you really wanted to, maybe if you took a little bit of WD-40 and put on the latch here, it may keep it from freezing together. Not a really big deal for me, but I guess if you're in the mountains and it was really cold and that did freeze, it could be kind of a pain to get it undone. As far as the RotopaX versus the Mountain Addiction cans, which one I would choose, I'm going to say with the RotopaX for now. I really like, again, like I said before, I like the low profile and I didn't have to worry about it falling off. The other thing I really like about it is the fuel nozzle that's in the can. It does have a valve on it, so when you tip it up, it doesn't start putting fuel in until you pull it back, which is really nice, so you don't dump fuel everywhere when you're trying to get the can tipped up and put the fuel in the sled. The Mountain Addiction can does have some advantages also. One, that the setup allows you to have a bag set up also along with the fuel tank if you have 2 rails like I had earlier. Also, if you want to put fuel in the Mountain Addiction can without taking the can off the sled, you can. The RotopaX, you do have to pull the RotopaX off the machine in order to put fuel in it. I don't know if I talked much about the plate before that I used to mount it on. The plate I bought from RotopaX, it's really nice to use because you just set it on, kind of put it where you want to and drill the holes. There's no measuring or messing around with it. It's pretty straightforward. I hope you found this review helpful, and if you did, go ahead and hit the like button down there. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.